Hi there, it's Laurel, and thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to another Simply card making video here in my video series. Today I'm going to be making this card. This is using a layered flower stamp set by the ton. Now, layered flower stamp sets scare the bejeebies out of me. There's a lot on the market, but I decided to try this one by the ton called Fresh Cut Peonies. They give you a little cheat sheet and tell you how to layer it up, so I'm going with it. And yeah, I've always been scared to death to try these, but I'm going for it. So again, this is called Fresh Cut Peonies by the ton. I'm going to go ahead and stamp that base first using some Lawn Fawn Hippo ink. It's a really pretty soft gray ink I thought would be pretty for a vase. And I've already got my different flowers from the stamp set on an acrylic block. I'm going to do these three right here. And I'm going to go in with a couple different color distressings. This is Shaded Lilac, Seedless Preserves, and Dusty Concord. So I'm going to ink up each of the layers of the stamp. Again, they give you a cheat sheet guide that I have off to the left-hand side here. I'm going to spritz them all with water, and then I'm going to start stamping. So I'm going to stamp the base one first. Then I'm going in, and you line that little kind of little divot in that stamp set. You line them up, and that's how you get these layers. So I did the Shaded Lilac first, Seedless Preserve second, and this is Dusty Concord. And I just think that's beautiful. I think that's a beautiful color combination. So with the layering look, you want to kind of start with your lightest and go to your darkest. So this is Spun Sugar, Worn Lipstick, and Festive Berries. And I'm going to do the same thing again with this stamp. And there's that little kind of divot down there in the bottom of that flower. You just line that up each time, and you get the perfect layer. And that cheat sheet helped, of course, so I can figure out how to do it. But I think these color combinations were pretty, and I was amazed at how easy it was to stamp that. I had just worked up in my brain that it was going to be so hard and intimidating. It was going to be a hot mess, but I tell you what, it wasn't with this stamp set, at least. I don't know about other layering flower stamp sets. This is the only one I own, but it wasn't as bad as I thought. So now I'm going to ink up the little stems of the flowers using some Hero Art Shadow ink. Any kind of dye ink you have will work. For the flowers themselves, I use Distress inks because I like the color and I like how they work with water. So that's why I did that. So now I'm going to go in with the leaves, and again, I'm going to stamp those little leaves. They do have some layering opportunities for the leaves as well, but I didn't want to layer up the leaves. I just wanted a little solid image here. And if you didn't catch it on the video, when I stamped the different layers of the flowers, I had spritzed the stamps after I inked them up with the Distress ink. I spritzed them all with the water too, and it just instantly did all the blending for me. Now this is Mermaid Lagoon and Cracked Pistachio. I smushed those colors down, smushed, onto my craft sheet that I'm working off of, and I'm going to fill in the vase here with some water. So I'm putting the Mermaid Lagoon down first, and then I'm going to go in with that Cracked Pistachio. I like when I do water to make a blue and a green. It reminds me of the beautiful waters, down in Key West. I live off of the coast of Jacksonville, so we don't have the pretty water here. But if we go down south towards the water and the Gulf, it's so pretty and clear, and it's that beautiful green color. So I just think it's so pretty. Anyway, yada, yada, yada. All right. So now I need to stamp a sentiment. I'm going to use the same sentiment from that same stamp set. I love when you have one stamp set with everything you need to create one card. It's nice to pull in 3, 4, or 5 stamp sets and mix everything up, but it's also nice when you're in a rush to have one stamp set and you can do everything with that stamp set. You know what I'm saying? So I went ahead and inked up that image with some Versamark ink. And then I'm going to heat set this with an embossing powder by Ranger called Liquid Platinum. It's a beautiful, beautiful embossing powder. It seems to go with everything, this color. It's outstanding. So I sprinkled that right on there. And then I'm going to heat set that with my heat tool. And you'll see it melt. It's just this really pretty color. If you get any embossing powder where you don't want it, take a dry paintbrush and you can just kind of brush it away. And then go ahead and heat set and you are good to go. All right, so now this is a Distress Glaze. It's one of the newer products by Tim Holtz because these products are made to react with water. Well, in this case, I don't want them to react with water. I want to put a shine of glitter over the top. So put on the Distress Glaze over the areas, and then you kind of buff it away like you wax a car, and now that ink is like waterproof. It's brilliant. So now when I go over with this Wink of Stella, I'm not going to reactivate all of that Distress ink and then blend all those colors to away. That would have just been awful. I would have removed all the layers of the peony. So that's distress glaze, and it just basically makes your distress ink permanent, non-reactive to water. I love that. So I put a layer of, actually did 2 coats of the Wink of Stella over that. So I've got a nice shine on the flowers in the vase. Now I'm going to go in with some glossy accents, and I'm going to fill in that base of water with the glossy accents here. And that's going to give us a nice dimensional shine, because you know vases are usually made of some form of glass, so glass is shiny. So I'm going in here. This is one of those precision tip bottles, those by Quilt Creation. I like them for glossy accents. I don't like them for anything else. I had one filled with the multi-matte medium and it just didn't work out for me. So I will use these bottles with my glossy accents, and that is it. So once I've got all that glossy accents covered down there on the vase, I'm going to give my card a good thump from behind to remove any of those bubbles, and then I'll let it dry. And then I adhered it down to a gray card base and did a couple of water flicks on there, and that's it. You can actually see the Wink of Stella on those flowers now in this light here. So that's the card for today. I have a whole playlist dedicated to Tim Holtz distress products on my YouTube channel. If you click on this picture here, it'll take you to that playlist where you'll see a variety of other videos that you might be interested in. And if you see that down there at the bottom, click here to subscribe. If you click on it, if you haven't already, of course, click on it and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that would be awesome. So thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.